My name is Izaria, and this is my Showcase slideshow presentation for my course 499W Senior Seminar in Cybersecurity. The topic I chose to research is human security. So before I get into my slideshow, I wanted to go over the table of contents. So first, I'll start with my introduction, then what is the problem that I'm going to be covering. I'll define that problem, and then I'll explain the importance of the issue. And I just want to mention that some of these will overlap with each other. Then I'll go into my analysis of my problem, my possible solutions, next steps, and finally the conclusion. So, starting with my introduction, first I wanted to give a quick overview of what cybersecurity is. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting various networks and data from cyber attacks, damage, or unauthorized access. There are many different components of cybersecurity that work together to protect this data. Some of these include information security, endpoint security, cloud security, and human security. And there are many more, such as network security and application security. Those are just some of the different components. And the one I chose to research about is human security. That's why there's an arrow pointing to that one. So human security focuses on the human aspect of security and their role in data protection. And this component emphasizes protecting individuals from cyber attacks. Here are some important statistics regarding human security. 93% of data breaches are from human error. 36% of human risk in cybersecurity is from inside threats, according to a CISO report found on an IBM website. And over 103 million people use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as their password. And I found this last statistic very surprising because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a very simple password, and many companies and organizations stress the importance of creating a strong password to protect their data. So I found that really surprising. What is the problem with human security? The biggest issue with human security is human behavior. It is how individuals interact with their technology, handle sensitive information, and respond to suspicious activity that exposes organizations to risk. If employees make mistakes, it can lead to the failure of even the strongest technical defenses. And ways human behavior poses a risk to security and various systems is if individuals fall for phishing attacks, click unsafe links, use weak passwords, aren't properly trained in cybersecurity hygiene, if there's the presence of an inside threat or an outside threat that has been let in by an employee, either knowingly or unknowingly, if employees misconfigure something, or different user errors, such as sending data to the wrong recipient or improperly setting share permissions. These are some risks to human behavior that I decided to focus on in my research. So the first one is phishing. Phishing emails look very real to people if not looked at carefully. When individuals mistake a fraudulent email to be legit, they click on that link or attachment, and it sends malware to the computer. And this is how attackers are able to gain personal information. Secondly, social engineering. Social engineering practices can include smishing, which is sending fake text messages that may look real, vishing, which are voice calls where attackers pose as trusted individuals, such as like a bank, like if your bank were to call you. Impersonation, or when attackers pretend to be someone they're not. Or shoulder surfing, which is when attackers look over someone's shoulder when that person is accessing sensitive data in a public place. Third, lack of cybersecurity hygiene. Cyber hygiene is defined as best practices a company follows in order to maintain the security of their networks. If they lack these practices, their networks will be more prone to vulnerabilities, and malicious actors may be more likely to exploit them and gain unauthorized access. Lastly, number 4, inside and outside threats. Inside threats refer to an employee, contractor, etc., who misuses their access to systems in a way that harms the company. This can include stealing and sharing sensitive information with others. This is very damaging to the company if not stopped because it exposes their data. Outside threats are any hacker wanting to gain unauthorized access. They may be able to gain this access through employee negligence. So why is this such an important issue that we deal with today? The human sector is both one of the greatest assets and most serious vulnerabilities to a company. Humans are able to cause many vulnerabilities because of the decisions they make, but they are also needed to solve security challenges. Strengthening the human element is critical for protecting against evolving threats in our digital world. Now moving on to the analysis of my topic of human security. I split my analysis into 2 sections. First, I will cover people as targets and go over why humans make mistakes, how attackers are able to then exploit these mistakes, and then link those weaknesses together to show how everything is connected. Second, I will go over the consequences of human behavior. Why people as targets. Why humans make mistakes. Overconfidence or lack of training. People may be too confident in their ability to do something, and this can lead to not double-checking their decisions made. Rush decision making. People who are in a rush to make decisions are more likely to make mistakes. And a limited awareness of cybersecurity threats. They aren't aware of the different types of cyber attacks that are out there. Second, how attackers exploit these behaviors. Psychological manipulation, or gaining individuals' trust, or they may instill fear in them, such as like if they don't pay a ransom on their computer, they'll lose access to all their data. Deception, deceiving somebody, or impersonation, as I spoke about earlier, pretending to be someone that they're not. And finally, weaknesses in one area can lead to risks in another. A lack of awareness can lead to poor decision making, which then leads to increased vulnerabilities in a system. And poor passwords can lead to compromised accounts and then to compromised systems. When that attacker gains access to the system with that compromised accounts, they can then use something called privilege escalation and gain more access and then infiltrate the system, possibly damaging the whole company or organization. Cause and effect. What are the consequences of human behavior? I didn't include the cause because I covered that in previous slides, so I'll only be going over the effect. Okay, so what exactly are the consequences of this human behavior? First, and most importantly, data breaches. Human behavior can expose critical information about a company to attackers. Attackers then are able to exploit it and infiltrate a system, spreading malware and compromising multiple parts of an organization. Second, financial losses. Organizations can lose millions of dollars paying for recovery, ransom payments, or system repairs, or even legal fees that they'll have to pay. And finally, reputational damage. Customers and partners may lose trust in an organization after the company experiences a breach caused by employee negligence. And now these are my solutions to the issue and what companies can do to protect themselves and limit the risk of human behavior or human error. So 1, promote cybersecurity hygiene practices. Emphasize the importance of having strong passwords. Update software constantly. Make sure you are kept up to date because outdated software is more prone to vulnerabilities. Promote the use of VPNs outside of the workplace and install antivirus and anti-malware on company and personal computers. Second, the use of the CIA triad. I believe companies should stress the importance of the CIA triad, and I'll go over the reasons why. First, confidentiality is ensuring that only authorized individuals can access certain information. In order to do this, companies should implement a need-to-know approach to limit who has access to what information. Integrity, which is ensuring that data remains accurate and unaltered. To do this, hashing or audit trails should be used to detect and prevent unauthorized changes. Finally, availability is ensuring that systems and data are accessible whenever and wherever it is needed. In order to do this, a disaster recovery plan should be put together to prepare for potential cyber attacks. My last and biggest solution is to train and educate employees. 1, provide regular cybersecurity awareness training to all employees. 2, ensure employees understand company policies and the reporting procedures in case they ever need to report an event. And 3, fostering a culture of strict and effective security. This helps encourage compliance with policies, increases awareness of threats, and ultimately reduces human errors because it allows security to become a part of everyday behavior. To conclude my presentation, I have a list of all the references I used. Thanks for watching.